Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning and welcome. It's Nurse Richard the Wax Wizard. Thanks for joining me. There's an interesting two ears today, both very, very different. The first one was a lady who'd come to see me. I'd started with the fine end tube on this one because it's predominantly skin, and I thought that's a bit more delicate work, it's going to squeak like Billy O, but it's actually a lot thicker than I thought it was this, so I immediately went back to the full-size tube. And it started unravelling itself. A really satisfying one, this one. I think you're going to like this one. And the second one, but they're both very different. What she'd done, she'd noticed that every time she got in the shower or the bath or went swimming, she got water in her ear and couldn't get it out. Kept feeling blocked up. It took a long time to drain the ear. And it's because of this here. So what she'd done, in an attempt to try and get it out, because I think it happened about at least a couple of weeks before she came to see me. A lot of people try everything first before coming, which is fair enough. If I didn't have to pay for something, I wouldn't, don't get me wrong. So that's what most people do, they try everything at home first. She'd absolutely drowned it in sodium bicarbonate, and that's water-based as opposed to olive oil. None of these drops magically remove earwax, that's just not what happens. It just kind of changes the consistency of it. Sometimes you can get lucky, but that's rare. And it's made all this skin really mushy. Certainly the very top layer gets a bit drier the further back you go, where it hasn't penetrated all the way down. Quite a dry ear canal as well when this isn't in. So I suspect she's probably had this skin plug build up just because possibly she doesn't make enough of the oily part of earwax that kind of helps to keep the ear lubricated so the skin can slide out a little better. It was surprising what was lurking deep down here and tucked into the recess there on the left hand side. You can already see now at this point she still couldn't hear much at all, to be honest, even though we've exposed a little bit of the eardrum. What was causing her the most symptoms was the bit there on the left hand side that I'm just about to get, and I don't think this came away one piece either. I might be wrong, it's been a while since I've done this one, I'm not going to lie. Or maybe it does. There we go, that was the biggest offending piece, so to speak. I just got a little bit trapped on the outside of her ear there. Let's just grab that. And there it is, all nice and clear. Like I said, quite dry and flaky. I'm not going to peel away every little bit. There's absolutely no need. But I thought I'd go down and get that little bit there because it was bugging me. And a couple of little bits at the side. But to say she was overwhelmed with the change in her hearing is an understatement. Yeah, she was absolutely beside herself. And very relieved to get this out. The next one coming after this, stay tuned for that, it's an interesting one. Get a couple of tools out as well, for all those who say, you never get any tools out. If you think that's the case, then by all means go and check out the video I made of reviewing nail tools, of which this is one of them. This is the Rye hook. Now this chap came to see me, he just felt there was something in his ear, and he wasn't wrong, and it wasn't affecting his hearing because, as you can see, we can see the eardrum in the distance there. But this thing was like a brick. It was extremely solid. Now, bringing it forward there is only half the battle. This thing it's like a pebble. You could drop it on the floor and it'd make a tapping sound. And I thought, why is that not coming out? Now, I can't dig this in because it's just too hard. It just rolls over the top of it. And when I'm trying to get behind it, again, it just rolls off it and just flicks out. And you'll find out why. There's something anchoring it down, and it's this, which is at the base of the ear canal here. So what I tried to do, unsuccessfully I might add, is grab that with the forceps. Now it looks like a big gap there to get into. It's really not, because behind where you can see, I'm trying to angle those forceps in and down and around a bend, which is not easy because these things are straight. And to get that right angle, so I can't really grip much of it, just the very edge of it. But what can happen, because you can't get that angle to slide in just under there, the left hand side of the forceps actually will end up pushing it back down in, because they're obviously both the same length, aren't they? So it's great getting the bottom one under there, to grab hold of it, but to get the bottom one under there, the top one has got to touch the plug itself, you know, and so it pushed it in. So what I decided to do was absolutely drown this in oil, because it's still stuck, it's still attached. You'll see why when this comes out eventually, which was a bit of a battle. I drowned it in oil, tried to turn it upside down, and that's the thick sheet of dead skin that was anchoring this down. And there was another one that was left behind after this. You'll see a lovely peel after this one. And some forceps very deep in the ear canal, which is not like me, but every once in a while it is called for. So this is why it's not great visual of this, because there is a lot of hairs in the area that I'm working, and I've had to put a lot of oil in. It's not a lot I can do about it. I know you like crystal clear images. It's not always possible, to be honest with you. And I've never felt the need to cut or trim or shave any hairs out the way. You just kind of get used to it if you've been doing it long enough and work your way around them. So what's going on in my world? I'm actually flying solo at the moment. You're thinking, what do you mean by that? When I say flying solo, I mean it's I'm on my own at home. It's just boys at home, because as some of you know, a while ago I posted a video letting you know that my daughter has gone to an international gymnastics competition. She's quite a high level gymnast, and she's only 10. Start young, don't they? Been doing it since she was 2 or 3. And she was invited to compete at an international competition in Malta, which is a small-ish island in the Mediterranean, for those of you who don't know where that is. And so she's there at the moment with her mum, with my wife. So it's just me and my son at the moment. Well, actually 2 of them, because my eldest is back from university after finishing his degree. So it's just boys only. So it's kind of nice having the house to ourselves, to do what we want. You'd ordinarily say and make as much mess as you want, but it's actually the girls who make mess in our house. They're terrible for it. But don't get me started on that one. And she's away for, I think, 4 days. So I've been starfishing in bed. It's stretching out a bit. I get a break from the snoring as well. She won't watch this, so I know I'm quite confident in saying that, and I'll get away with it. So yeah, it's don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to seeing them when they come back. And I will, for those of you, because I know we did, there was a GoFundMe page for the girls to set them up, to get them some equipment, clothes, training gear and special competition gear, of which they raised a lot of money. And I do appreciate that. So as soon as my wife sends me some images and videos, I'll make a video about their time in Malta, so you can see where those who donated, you can see where your money went. So as you can see, that thing finally came out, but the reason why it was anchored in was a lot to do with this bit here. Now I've stayed with a full-size tube here because I can just tell how thick this is. And whenever you see a thick layer of dead skin in anyone's ear canal like this, you should always investigate it, because you never know what might be lurking underneath it. And it looks absolutely fine underneath it, thankfully. But as I'm peeling this back, say I'm getting deeper in the ear, a bit closer to the eardrum, so I'm a bit wary of the noise. And I was hoping I wouldn't have to go any deeper than that it would just lift up. But it didn't. I'm not moving the suction tube deeper into the ear. I'm just trying to wiggle to try and separate it. But it was extremely stuck, this thing. So this is when I got the old trusty forceps out, excuse me, which you'll see in a second. I've probably persevered a bit too long with this, to be honest. It was pretty evident it wasn't going to be coming out with this alone. But I'm giving it a damn good go before I try anything else. Don't forget, if you do enjoy these videos, then feel free to follow the pages, like, subscribe. I know I don't say that often, but it is appreciated. Hello to all the new ones who found me. So yeah, here I am going to be going in with the crocodile forceps. And like I said, this is very deep in the ear. So I'm always a little wary and a little reluctant to go this deep in the ear. But sometimes you have no option. It is sometimes the only way to get something like this out. And out it came pretty easily, as you can see. Bit of a smiley face on there, hasn't he? That's just some scarring there. I think he had a history of some infections when he was younger. This was his other ear, and I wish the other one went just like this. It wasn't as big, but it was just as dry and just as hard. So I didn't even attempt trying to take this out without any oil. And because I put the oil in this ear as soon as I saw both of them. So this had been absorbing that oil whilst I was working on the other ear, which is why I didn't need any tools. It came out with the suction because it had softened the surface. And another little smiley face on that eardrum too, again quite scarred. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, found it interesting. But for now, take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Ta-da.